Eskom remains central in the provision of adequate and reliable electricity to support economic growth and the country's economic imperatives. In fulfilling this national responsibility, the company faces a number of challenges related to plant maintenance, securing the correct quality of coal, and delays in the new build program. I am happy to announce that as at 31 August 2013, of the 9 units Eskom had committed to long-duration maintenance over winter, 5 were completed, 3 are in execution, and 1 is awaiting to be released in the next weeks.
We would like to thank our customers across the full customer base. You know, as we got into winter, we started talking about beating the peak and getting customers to switch off over that critical time between 5 to 9. We want to start talking about something that we would like to introduce for this summer, and that is to really ask South Africans to start living lightly this summer. And it's likely in terms of the use of electricity, but I think it's something that as a concept we need to start having as to how we use resources, whether it's water, whether it's waste. And certainly we would like to, this summer, plea for South Africans to live lightly. As we all know that in summers the profile is lower than in winter, but therefore it also means that the power system is tight for most part of the day in summer. On our build program, there has been progress made at Medupi. Most of the equipment is now all on site, most of them actually installed. We have entered into a labor agreement on site that is in place. We have resolved the technical issues around our welding that needed to be done by Hitachi. They're busy implementing all of the repair plans. We have made progress on the control instrumentation, including our contingency plans is now all in place. Progress at Kusile and Ngula has well been made. We've started, very excitingly, the construction of our first large wind farm for Eskom called Syria on the west coast. And we've also started our first large railway line that will, for the first time, bring all Majuba's coal to the Majuba power station. But the winter, as we all know, has been a lot milder than what we've seen in previous years, and we have seen better savings over peak period through the power bulletins, as well as better generation performance. If you look at our daily bulletins, our weekly bulletin, twice a week we issue the reserve margin throughout the day. We issue it to you, we say to you, what is the reserve margin 6 o'clock in the morning, what is the reserve margin at 12 o'clock in the day, we talk about what is it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and also at night. But for the rest of the day, there has been adequate power in South Africa. There has been adequate reserves in South Africa. We have sufficient power demand in the country. Actually, at night, our reserve margin as a country is above 20%. During most of the day, it is above 10%. And for an average, since the beginning of this year, the reserve margin for most of the day, except peak, has been over the required 15%. We have used our open cycle gas turbines a lot more this winter to do increased maintenance. Beginning of this year, it was when our Kubik unit was down, and then therefore transfer capacity down to the Cape. And we will continue to do that as we make sure there's adequate capacity, particularly over peak, for us to do the increased maintenance we need to do. We said we would sign up independent power producers. We've done that. We've signed the round 1 and round 2 of the renewables bids. That's all been concluded. We've signed an additional 1,005 megawatts of the open cycle gas turbines that will be built by the private sector, and continue to sign short-term and medium-term power purchase agreements. We had an extensive program through our 49M campaign, which is now got 122 partners that we have on board. You know that summer is different. The peak profile is significantly different. In summer, we have what we call a more table mountain profile. The load is very flat. In the morning, the load comes up to about 32,000 megawatts and remains there for most of the day. We have a smaller peak in the evening. So unlike previous summers, this one will be different because we're going to continue doing our planned maintenance, particularly on a fixed basis. really the message from us to South Africans this summer is please remember that the less you use is better. We will be rolling out a communication concept focused on living lightly. We look at our lives and how we live our life and really see how we use equipment through our habits. And really we consume as South Africans quite excessively. And we've seen that, particularly in our space, around the area of electricity. So for us, less is more this summer, and we would really call on South Africans to make sure in this summer, 5 key messages to live lightly this summer. We would ask South Africans to use your air conditioning efficiently, set it at 23 degrees, close the windows and doors, switch it off 30 minutes before leaving the offices. Secondly, that you continue to switch off all geysers between 5 and 9 and pool pumps. Make sure that we limit this summer particularly the pool filtering to 2 cycles daily and not between 5 and 9. All essential lighting to be switched off, and then we would ask people to continue looking at the power bulletin and the power alerts and make sure that we respond to those throughout the summer. As a company, Eskom has been voted in the Sunday Times survey as the most desired place to work for. It's something that we've set out to do, and certainly amongst MBAs, the second best place to work for. And that is the type of organization that we would like to create, and one that continue to power our world. Thank you.